Okay, so we all know about the Gladiators, right? You know, they're really, really, really cool people that fought each other in the place called the Colosseum, right? Well, you may not know a few things about them, and they were quite different than you think. There are a few misconceptions between what you see and what actually happened. So let's jump into it. To start off, let's talk about where they fought. The Colosseum. This place was built between 70 to 72 CE and 82 CE. What was its purpose? Fighting. How did they build it? I'll explain that. So, the Colosseum was an amphitheater, which meant that it was a place where shows happened. But, unlike most amphitheaters that were dug into the ground, like this, it was freestanding. What did they use to make it freestanding and stand still? Well, they used concrete and rock. Because, of course, everything has to be made of concrete these days. Why can't we just use other stuff? But how did they make it freestanding, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you now. They used a bunch of underground pipeline systems, which I forgot the names of each pipeline system, but who cares? It was pipeline system. Kind of like what we use today. So, yeah, that's how they built it. But, yeah, what did they use it for? Well, they used it for gladiator fighting, animal fighting. It also had mini sheets, which could be used to hold thousands and thousands of people who wanted to watch people get brutally murdered. Well, you might be saying, can't we just get to the good part and just talk about the freaking gladiators for once? And to that I say, I couldn't agree more. Let's freaking talk about it! Well, who were the gladiators? Well, the gladiators, you see, were de facto slaves, which meant that by the Roman people, they were viewed as less than people. So yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? Let's move on, because I don't... There were over 20 dozen gladiator types, but I'll only be going over 5 of them. The most recognizable ones. So yeah, I already showed you one of them, so let's get into that one first. This is a Murmillo. They were the most heavily armored and had a gladius, which is the big sword he's holding, a really, really big circular shield, and a lot of armor. A lot of armor. Just a lot of it. He also had a full cover helmet, which had a little fish on it, like a fish crest. You can see it's the blue thing. It's the blue thing. It's right there. I know you can see it. Anyways, these guys were like the tanks and would just kill people really, really quickly. I'm sure they were the best of the best. So let's move on to the next one. The next one I'll be talking about is this guy, who is a Thrax. Thraxes were basically the same as Murmillos, but they had a few key differences. For one, their shield was smaller and rectangular. They had the same armor, but there was a different crest on their head. It was of a griffin. I know you can see it this time. It's bright red wings. You can see its bright red wings. And it had a long Thracian curved sword. I forgot what they're called. I think that's what they're called. So yeah, they're probably not as good as the Murmillos though. The next one, this is just a fisherman. Who gave me this?
I see. That's really stupid. Oh, whatever.
This thing is called a Retiarius. But I'm going to call it retard. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. So I'm just going to say retur. I'm going to call it turd. Alright, turd guy. He had light armor, no shield, no sword. All he had was a trident and a net. How would he use the net? I'll show you. Basically, he would just like throw the net onto the guy and go, "Ugh, ugh, 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 ugh." And it would basically kill the guy who's fighting. Hopefully. He probably wouldn't win if he had been fighting another guy. But this time he's fighting a prisoner because I made him do that because I'm forcing them to do this. Next one up is the Esidarius, who rode on horses. Literally, the only information we have on them that was found on by the archaeologists was that they rode on chariots. That's literally all we know. But they did fight. So yeah, they still count. Next one up, we have this guy, who is a homocacus. I forgot how to pronounce it. But yeah, he has a plumed helmet, a small shield, no armor, a throwing spear, and a little sword. Yeah, he's basically defenseless against the Murmellos, bro. He's literally gonna die to the Murmellos. Literally gonna die in Ohio. So yeah, that's all the 5 gladiators I'll be talking about, but there's a bit more I'm gonna talk about. What did they even do? Let's start talking about the animals. Remember when I said they fought animals earlier? Well, I was lying. They did not actually fight animals. But that doesn't mean that they're not gonna be in the spotlight. They were actually used for 2 different reasons. They were for attacking prisoners. Okay, but in all seriousness, like, imagine just being a prisoner, like, and just being suddenly thrown out there, and you just see, like, some, like, freaking creature you've never seen in your life, just, like, starting to run at you to murder you. Like, what do you even do in that situation? Oh, by the way, that brown thing's supposed to be a bear. Oh yeah, those prisoners you saw earlier, I was talking about, they also get executed in a different way. They get executed by hunters by professional hunters who mock the prisoner by hunting them down like an animal. Hey, bud, you see that guy over there? We're supposed to kill him. I say we put on a horse costume and we shoot him with the gun as the horse. If you say so, chap. Nay. Okay. We're gonna fire. 3, 2, 1. Huh? Ah! Oh yeah. Not many actually died in the gladiator battles. It usually happened near the beginning of the start of them, but as they started growing more and more popular, the deaths decreased because money. Last thing that happened with gladiators and the Colosseums were naval battle fakes. Usually these used criminals, and they were very, very brutal. They also almost always only took place on special occasions. And that concludes my presentation. I hope you liked it, because I sure love making it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see ya on the flip side.